everybody, quick setup for today's session. Black cables off the handlebars, not wrapped around so you can easily grab them later. Pull your mermaid strap away from the springs, and then also just make sure your red cables are hung up so that you can easily grab them when we transition into the legs. Got Jessica here demoing today. As always, quick modifications, smaller range of motion, gonna make it easier. Knees down anytime we're in a plank, anytime we're at the back, you can bring it up to the front and vice versa. Let's get right on into it today. We're gonna start with the reverse high plank. So make sure you have one yellow spring on, and Jessica will be right here at the front where she is, facing the same direction. You'll bring your hands about to the 2 and the 4. Toes are tucked unless you're starting out on your knees, which is a great place to warm up the body as well. And then bring it on out. And then we're just gonna be holding into it here. I like my feet together most of the time. Feet, heels, toes touching, thighs together, booty squeezing together. If you want to try something different today, maybe you move your feet about hips distance or even wider. Still squeezing and holding here. We'll take about 20 more seconds. So start to cultivate those center abs. Start to feel the heat in your shoulders. Soften through your elbows a little bit so you feel the upper arms, the biceps, the triceps a little bit more. Chin is lifting towards your throat. So the back of the skull kind of lifting up. Feel that stretching through the back of the neck. 5. Good, just breathing here. We're gonna slowly begin to move into push-ups. How do you make it easier? You don't go down so low. Take a big inhale, and then bending at the elbows. Elbows come back about 45 degrees off the shoulders, exactly. Little pause at the bottom, and then lift up nice and slow. Give me 2 more just like that. Almost there, start to let it shake. Perfect in the spine, Jessica, awesome control. And then 1 more time, bending the elbows. Yes, and then straighten your arms all the way up. Push that carriage away from you. Slowly bend your knees into bear. Now your shoulders are on fire. Yay, bonus, right? Knees are stopping right underneath the hips, squeezing through the core. Pretty good to move this one. Don't be afraid to pause at the front of the movement, at the back of the movement, squeezing the abs in a little tighter. All I'm gonna say, about 20 more seconds. Slow it down a little bit. Feel the challenge as your legs extend to straight, and then feel the challenge as you slowly bend those knees. Try not to let the hips hike up. 4 seconds, start to take it about halfway out in 3, 2, halfway out, hold it here nice and strong, and then we're 1 inch out, 1 inch in. Big gulps of air, strong in the chest, soft through the elbows, real tight in the core. You've still got 10 more seconds here. Breathing, we're gonna bring the knees down. Knees will replace the toes. Your hands will stay where they are for reverse wheelbarrow. 3, 2, 1, good job. Bring the knees down, and then immediately bring your hips forward into that modified plank shape. Soften through your elbows, triceps wrapping back. If you need to, if you feel tight in your shoulders, you could turn your index fingers to point straight ahead rather than having that middle finger point straight ahead. That'll feel a little bit better for most of us in the shoulders. Now you see Jessica's range of motion. Go out as far as you can. Not that concerned with how far out you're going, keeping the shoulders depressed. And then as you come in, you're trying to stop the hands when they're either slightly in front of the shoulders or right underneath. Try not to pull in underneath you. Nice and slow. Lifting through the back of the head. Same action as in the plank. Your chin is lifting towards your throat. You'll take about 8 more seconds of movement, and then we're gonna hit our little challenge here. Breathing and squeezing. Good, next one, start to press out with the arms. If you're getting gassed already, don't go out as far, but if you can push it a little bit. Zip those lower abs, squeeze your buns together, melt the shoulders. Slowly go 1 inch out from here. See if you can layer another ½ inch on top of it. So strong, Jessica. And then a ½ inch in, and then 1 full inch in. Yes. 1 inch out, layer another ½ inch on top of it. You got it. Melt those shoulders. ½ inch in, 1 inch in. Push it all the way out and bring it back to full range. You have 12 more seconds here. We're gonna move our way up to the back of the machine now. 2 yellow springs will be twice as hard at the back. Kneeling crunch in 3, 2, 1. Awesome, Jessica. So on up to the back, your elbows will be on the back platform. Make sure you change down to 1 yellow if you had 2, unless you mean it. Knees against the strap, you'll see toes pointed, shins are pushing down. As she exhales, less about the knees pulling in and more about coiling up through the spine. Now notice that her shoulders started to shift forward. That's kind of normal, but we want to counter that. Keep those shoulders stacked right over the elbows. Sorry, Jess, my hands are cold this morning. And then you'll see she's got a big range of motion. She's going pretty much all the way out to that full modified plank. That creates a bigger movement. It's more difficult to maintain. Well, like we talked about right before we started, how do you make this easier? You make it a smaller range of motion. If your back isn't feeling it today, like I said, you can always take this one up to the front. A little bit slower now, 10 seconds, and we'll hit our one and only challenge on this one. We're gonna start to slide all the way out to that modified plank. Shoulders over the elbows, back of the neck is long, shoulders moving away from your ears towards the hips, booty is squeezing, lower belly is cinching up to the spine. Slowly begin to saw your shoulders. It's just like wheelbarrow, except you're down on your forearms, so it's a little bit easier, a little bit softer. I think a little bit easier to kick your own butt a little bit. Let's see if we can just slow it down. That's a great range of motion, Jessica. 10, real slow, real strong. Get it to shake a little bit. If it's not shaking, go slower. 4, stack your shoulders over the elbows. 3, 2, stack it up. Big old inhale as you exhale, round that spine. Last 10 seconds, we pop up for catfish in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hands on up to your high bars. Toes hook up against the strap. Little trick here, if you wanted to make it softer but you didn't want to move up to the front, you can always flip these back handlebars around 180 degrees so they face the opposite way, and that would make it lighter. Beautiful spine. You'll see she's established this perfect tabletop. Form is on point, Jessica. And she's bending the knees. Knees hover right under the hips. So freaking strong this morning. Shoulders melting away from the ears. You're holding yourself up with your upper body. Soften those elbows a little bit. Feel your biceps, your triceps, feel your chest, feel your shoulders, feel those back muscles. I'm talking about your arms, but this is a core exercise. Your abs, your lower belly should be fire right now. If you want to feel those upper abs burn a little more, shift your shoulders slightly back of where they are. Next one, let's take it about halfway out. Don't let your hips fall though. So the more bent your knees are, the easier it will be to maintain that hip height. Hold it. And now squeeze those low abs real tight. Give me a ½ inch in, but real slow, real slow. And then a ½ inch out. Yes, lift through the back of the head. We're almost there. ½ inch in, 3, ½ inch out. Hold it out, hold it out, hold it out, hold it out. And you're back to full range. You only have 15 seconds. We're gonna step off the back. We'll be facing towards the front with those red cables in your hand. We'll start out on our right leg today with 5th lunge. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and step all the way down to the floor off the back. Face the front, picking up those cables, and then stand up onto your back platform. Bicep curl it in, right foot will step forward. I like my heel all the way out past that first red line. If you needed to make it easier, step your foot back a little bit. Back heel lifts all the way up. You'll see the arms kind of straighten out as you come down. Keep those lower abs pulling in. Tuck your tail a lot. Yeah, good. And then pushing into that right heel, we rise. Try not to lock your right knee at the top. Try to keep the core pulling in as you rise, which I feel like in that last quarter of the range of motion up, we all tend to lose our core a little bit. Keep it nice and tight. Big old pause at the bottom. Try to bring your right thigh actually literally parallel to the floor as you come down. Next one, let's start to make our way into our first challenge, our first hold. Now holding here, breathing. Tuck those lower abs in, pull the rib cage towards the spine. Now kind of like we challenged the other day, without moving the carriage, so you'll probably bend your back knee more. I want you to come 1 inch down in your right leg, try to hold that carriage, and then come 1 more inch down, feel those low abs pull in. 1 inch up, right leg, tiny movements, 1 more inch up. Good, sink 1 inch down, come another inch down, hold it, tuck your lower abs tightly, begin to bend your back knee for the moonwalk. Try to stay real low in that right leg, it's difficult. Pushing into that right heel, lift your back heel up a little higher, so strong, Jessica. Right heel is drilling energetically down into that platform, bending that back knee, pulling in. Great control here. If you can go slower at home, go way slower. That's the hard part here, feeling all these little pieces snap together. 3, she's gonna bend her left knee all the way in 2, now hold it here. Bend your left knee more, bend your right knee more, lift your back heel higher, pop your collarbones open. I know this is super difficult. 4 seconds, yep, 3, we're gonna slide forward in 2, slide it out, slide it out, slide it out, pause, push into your right heel, begin to rise. Last 10 seconds, she's gonna keep the cable in her right hand, she's gonna turn to her right so that her right foot's on the platform. Side lunge, 3, 2, 1, good job. Turn to your right, keep the cable in your right hand. Right toes will step forward a little bit on that back platform, and then you'll see she staggered her left foot back behind the white line between the 9 and the 10. She's gonna begin to bend down into the right knee. There is a pretty good lean forward here for most of us. That hinge forward is gonna help if your calf, your ankle, your Achilles is tight. It's gonna help you get into the depth of this. You wanna feel a lot of booty here. You can use that cable to assist. You'll see she's kind of resting it down, which is how I like to do it as well. The hard part is not straightening your knee at the top. The other hard part is you gotta keep your hips level here, you guys. Don't let this left hip sink down. You're not traveling to the left. Your left leg stays straight. Your hips go straight back as if you were in a regular squat. So as I was saying, it's a lot of booty, but you're gonna feel your quad working pretty hard here and your inner thighs as well. Let's start to make our way down to the bottom and just hold it down there when you're ready. Get down nice and low, press into that right heel, curl those lower abs into your spine. Try to sit a little bit lower. This is just a hold for 6 more seconds. Squeeze that left booty, squeeze that left oblique a little bit, perfect adjustment. Sink down as low as you can, everybody, and now battle it out. Start to rise, start to rise, start to rise. Awesome. Once you hit the top, you're trying to come right back down. Only 8 more seconds. That second challenge is coming in hot. 5, start to sink down to the bottom in 3, 2, bring it all the way down. Last challenge here. Hold it down low as you can get. Open up those collarbones, engage your lats, pull the side waist in, come 1 inch down, try. Come 1 more inch down. 1 inch up, squeeze those inner thighs. 1 more inch up. Last time, 1 inch down. 1 more inch down, sit on it. Slowly start to rise. Yes, 14 seconds. Coming into another lunge here. We're gonna be facing the back this time. So your feet will pivot. You'll have both cables for express lunge. 3, 2, 1. So pivot to face the back, both cables, right foot is forward still, left toes are back against the strap. Square your hips up, maybe move your left foot a little bit left, lean a little forward at the hips if you need it, and then begin to bend down into your right knee. I want your challenge right now, you guys, all of you, is to get your thigh parallel to the floor every single time. I know that it burns. It's gonna burn your core more. It's gonna challenge those inner thighs more. Yes, Jessica, all the way down. You see this beautiful pause at the bottom, and you'll also notice the first couple inches, she's not really using those cables. The cables are there for your support, right? Bicep curling as you need the balance, but see how much of this work you can do every single time. Isolating that right leg. She's got 8 seconds of movement. We're gonna start to make our way down to the bottom. 5, all the way. 3, 2, down as low as you can get. This is just a hold. Pushing into your right heel. I want you to feel your inner thighs working. I want you to feel your shoulders melt down away from your ears towards your hips. Pull the front ribs in. Awesome adjustment. Can you guys get a little bit lower? The answer is maybe, maybe not. I don't know. You're the only one who can push it, right? Remember that you can always bend your elbows here, just 8 seconds. You can always bend your elbows here if you need the assistance of your biceps to hold you to it. 4 seconds. We go lower first. Get that thigh parallel to the floor. Inhale, breath. Take it down, 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 down. Yes, and then slowly start to rise. 20 seconds of movement. It is a battle now. This is your last on the light lunges, and we'll be taking it up to the front to push. when we get into those pushing exercises, your heart rate's gonna rise. So choose your springs wisely as we make our way up to the front. Start to make your way down last time. Hold it. Can you get your right thigh parallel to the floor? Dig in, slowly, carriage kicks. Use that bicep curl with that back knee. Bending the knee in, yes, use those cables. Sit into that right heel a little bit lower. You guys, 15 seconds from here, you're gonna step backwards to adjust your springs for side kicks. About 1 red, 2 yellows. Less yellows is lighter, so 1 red, 1 or 2 yellows is cool. Maybe 1 red, 3 yellows if you're looking for the challenge. A little bit lower for 4. Last 3, 2, 1. Good job. So about 1 red, 1 to 2 yellows. Your right foot will hop all the way over that front platform. You'll be facing to your left. Left foot is on the front edge of your carriage. And then Jessica's gonna bend her knees and sit back and down into a nice deep kind of squat position. Your hips are hovering over that front platform. If you look down for me real quick, everybody, make sure your right toes are pivoted like an inch to the right of straight. And then you gotta make sure that your knee points in line with your toes. It is important. So push that right knee out to the right, get that outer right butt cheek pocket to work. And then it's the same with your left leg. You can see Jessica's left toes are turned out slightly. As she's pushing, her knee stays in alignment with those toes through the entirety of the movement. So as you push your left leg out, the knee is rotated, rotated, rotated. When she holds her leg out there, not locking it, but holding it for a beat to check that alignment, the knee is still pointed in the same direction. I'm not super concerned with how much you bend your left knee in. You have to make sure you're feeling that effort in your glute, in the booty. If you're starting to feel it in your inner thighs, keep that range of motion a little bit straighter. Let's see if we can sink down now into the right leg a little bit lower. Here comes those challenges, and we're gonna go back to back here. It's difficult. Push your left leg out towards straightish. Deepen the bend in your right knee. This is an isometric hold. That's where the challenge lives, in that right leg. Left leg, go 1 inch out. It shakes, Jessica. And then 1 inch in. If you're not shaking, you guys, you gotta get lower. You gotta push harder. You need to be shaking at this point. 1 inch out. Push it a little bit straighter. Feel it. Now hold it there, hold it there. Yes, use your arms as much as you need. I want you to keep this carriage absolutely still. Come 1 inch down, right leg. Sit your booty onto or closer to that platform. And then 1 inch up. Keep it honest. Keep it tight. We're almost there. 1 inch down, as low as you can get. So freaking strong, Jessica. Left leg, 1 inch out. Ooh, fight for it. 1 inch in. 7 itty bitty baby seconds. 1 inch out. Don't stand up on me now. 3, 1 inch in. Push it all the way out. You're back to full range. You have 14 itty bitty baby seconds. Don't stand up. Melt those shoulders. Spread your collarbones. Sit even lower. 7, 6, mega donkey. We crawl through the bars in 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, that's a battle, Jessica. Right foot on the bar. You have the option to adjust your spring load here if you should need to. If your shoulders are tired, you can come on down as light as 1 red. 1 red, 1, 2, even 3 yellows is also cool. Shoulders are squared right over the wrists for the most part. Make sure your right heel is on the bar, not the arch of your foot, not the side of your foot. And then make sure your hips are squaring down towards the carriage. The right thigh does turn out, so you feel that outer right butt cheek pocket again. Your right rib cage is rotating down towards the carriage. So your chest is square, your hip bones are square to the floor or to the carriage right below you. Let's go ahead and push it out about 80-90% of the way. So we're out there with a pretty straight right leg. Push it out just a little bit further. Hold it. Dropping that right hip again, leveling out those shoulders. Come 1 inch in, stop. 1 inch is real small, especially in this one. Go 1 inch out, stop. Come 1 inch in last time. Hold on those arms, strong, strong shoulders. Push it out almost to straight without locking it and come back to your full range of motion. 15 seconds of movement. Bending your right knee. I want your right knee to come in line with your hip. I don't want the carriage to close. Make sure as you bend your right knee, when it gets the deepest bend, make sure you're cultivating that push from the butt. On this next one, bend your right knee so that your knee is about in line with the hip, but the carriage isn't quite closed. So it feels lighter here. Squeeze your butt cheek. Make sure you're feeling it there. Strengthen through your chest a little bit. Go 1 inch out from here. Keep it small. 1 inch in. Stay with it. This is the last one for your right leg, and we're going to move into that right oblique. 1 inch out. 8 more seconds. Stay with me now. 1 inch in. How could you make this harder right now? You could totally lift that left knee if you're feeling crazy. 4 seconds. Stay with it. 3. Come all the way in first. 2. Bend that right knee all the way in, all the way in, all the way in, all the way in, and push it all the way back out. This is your last 15 seconds. Keep it honest. Lift off those shoulders. We're going French twist, right side. 7 seconds. You need 1 yellow spring. We push to the back. How do you modify? You could turn the bars around, or you could take teaser at the front. 3, 2, 1. Good job, everybody. 1 yellow. Push it on up to the back for French twist. Right foot crossed over left. Only keeping you here 60 seconds, so the minimum amount of time. If you need to change the bars, make sure you got your weight set up, and then I would turn them all the way around if you're going to do it. Yep, there you are. So you'll see she's got her bars turned 180 degrees around. Scooch that right foot forward just a sliver. There you go. Good. Shoulders are level. Shoulders will lean slightly forward of the wrist line here at the back, you guys. Lean a little bit forward. Shift the knuckles slightly down so the wrists feel a little bit longer. So when I say shift the knuckles down, I don't want your knuckles totally straight down, but keep a little flexion in the wrist. Make sure you're able to push inwards on the bars. Next one, slide your legs out behind you about 90% of the way. Try not to flatten out. You still want that right side cinching up as slowly as you can. We're going to finish right here in the challenge. Bring it 1 inch up. Yes, dig in. Come 1 inch down. Lift through the back of the head just a little bit. Good fight, Jessica. 1 inch up. Yes. Bring it 1 inch down. We're still breathing, right? 7, 6, 1 inch up. Awesome. Take it 1 inch down. Carefully transitioning to the side crunch on your elbows. In 2 and 1. So elbows come down to the back platform. Knees are up against the strap. Your right knee is on the white line. Your left knee kind of stacked on top of it. You're going to inhale as the knees slide back. Awesome. Hard part, try to keep the shoulders directly over the elbows. As you round up, it's normal that the shoulders want to start to creep forward. So counter that with the back strength, with the shoulder stability. Breathe it in, squeeze it. We're going to take it out about halfway. In 3, 2, halfway. So bring the chin slightly towards the throat. Squeeze your butt cheeks at each other. Squeeze your inner thighs. I want you to do this slower than anything else so far. Come 1 inch up and in. Imagine you're trying to pull that hip bone into your armpit. Intensify this one. And then even slower, take it 1 inch out. Your hip bone is still pulling towards your armpit. Your left elbow is still heavy. 1 inch up and in. Squeeze it tighter. Hold it there. Hold it, hold it. Tuck it in a little bit more. Slowly, you're back to full range. You have 15 seconds of movement. I'm going to get you off your shoulders right after this. Remember, you had mega donkey kicks into the French twist, into the side crunch. This is difficult for your upper body at this point. 6 seconds. You're going to sit on your left hip, face to your right for mermaid. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So right foot is going to be underneath the strap on the floor. I'm going to call out mermaid twists today. If you can, bring your fingertips behind your ears, so just going to get your heart rate a little bit higher. If you'd rather have your hands in prayer, that's a-okay as well. So I like to separate the twist, right? Coming down on your diagonal, pausing, and then rotating once I'm as low as I'm going to get. If you're doing it this way, you're going to untwist first and then rise up. If you want to make it bigger, more difficult, more unstable, try adding the twist and the lower at the same time. So as you're coming down, navel is drawing back towards the spine, you're twisting and lowering. It's difficult. You got to step by step, piece by piece, separate this thing out. 8 seconds, we're going to challenge it. Last little push here. Awesome, Jessica. Good. Next one, start to make your way down towards the bottom and hold it. If you're twisted, keep the twist for a second. And now slowly unwind, turn towards your right so you're square to the wall in front of you. See if you can reach your right arm up now. I want you to come up a little bit higher, maybe an inch or two. Take a big old inhale, less movement, more action. Little squeeze up, lengthen out that right side neck a little bit. Awesome. Little squeeze down. This is 6. You're right there, you guys. 5. We're going to go straight into left side French twist. 3, 2, 1. Woo! That was so spicy, Jessica. Hands are up on your high bars. If you had your bars turned around already, they're right in position for you. Left foot over right. Lean the shoulders a little bit forward, and then your legs begin to slide out behind you. Perfect range, Jessica. Slow, steady. Again, like I said, we're only here 60 seconds. I'm keeping here the minimum time. Why? Because I want your maximum effort right now. I want you gritted and out. I want you hugging those bars. I want your shoulders shaking. I want your inner thighs shaking at each other. Go a little bit slower if you can. We've got about 15 seconds in this full range. So strong, Jessica. Check in with how you're holding your neck, everybody. I can usually bring my chin up closer to my throat. I usually have a lot more action I can put between those upper inner thighs. Squeeze even your butt cheeks together. Here we go. Let's take it out on your next one about 90% of the way. Hold it. Lift that head a little bit. Shrug those shoulders down from your ears. You've got it right now. 1 inch up. This is where we battle right now. Take it 1 inch back out. Yes, Jessica. We don't have to go back to full range. 1 inch. Cinch it up. Squeeze it tight right here. Go 1 inch down. 8 seconds. 6. Squeeze it. 5, 4. The side crunch in 3, 2, 1. Woo. Elbows down, knees down. They hook up against that strap. So left knee is lined up with the white line. Right knee is kind of stacked on top of it. Your shoulders are not twisted though. Your shoulders are square. The twist happens around the spine. Now as the legs slide out, go a lot slower than you think. Spend a second squeezing there before you start to draw up and in. Let your neck move with your spine. Keep your right elbow really heavy. Perfect form, Jessica. Next one, I want you to slide it a little bit more than halfway out. Hold it there. Push that right elbow down a lot. Check your neck for me. Squeeze your butt cheeks. Now curl 1 inch in, but hold on to it right here. Intensify it like you're bringing your hip bone into your armpit. And then go 1 inch out. Yes, lift that head a little bit. And then 1 inch in. Squeeze it tighter. Squeeze it so tight right here. Go 1 inch out. Last time. Bring it 1 inch in, zip it, squeeze it, hold it, breathe as deeply as you can. Take it back to full range. You only have about 15 seconds of movement. And then we're gonna come into that mermaid again. So we'll give you shoulders a nice break. And then we'll be working our way back into the center abs before we get back to the legs. This is 5. Your right hip comes down, you face to your left for the mermaid twist. 3, 2, 1. Good job. So sitting on your right hip, left foot takes the strap. Remember, you never have to twist if it's not serving you on any given day. You could try one and be like, never mind. Options, fingertips behind the ears harder. It's going to raise your heart rate. It's also going to make your shoulders work harder. Hands in prayer, great place to be. Still on that left side waist. So maybe you take 1 straight down and straight up, or 2 or whatever you got. And then options for the twist. Remember, I like to come down on my diagonal first. I like to keep myself honest. Hold, and then slowly, piece by piece, then I add that rotation. Then I untwist, and then I lift up. Harder is lowering and rotating at the same time. Check it out. Try it both ways. Maybe you do one way, and then one the next way, right? Try it out, layer them up, whatever you've got. Only have about 12 more seconds here, and then we're gonna take that big challenge. Breathe in and squeeze in. Lengthen out that neck, soften through your left knee a little bit. Perfect form, Jessica. Next one, bring it down. Keep your twist if you've got it. Hold it. Shoulders melt away from the ears. And then untwist, squaring yourself to the wall in front of you. And then I want you to lift up a little higher, a whole inch or maybe even 2. Can you lift your left arm to the sky? And then from here, less movement, more action. A little squeeze up. A little squeeze down, fighting for it. 7, 6, digging in, lengthen out that neck, relax your jaw, you guys. 4 seconds, super crunch. 3, 2, 1. Make sure you've got the 1 yellow unless you mean to have 2. 2 is twice as hard. Tuck your toes under the strap. Let's see if we can reach the arms forward now. Take the arms up towards the sky. Thumbs rotated up, shoulders packed down. As you begin to lean back, legs extend away from you. Awesome. Hardest part, make sure when you lean back, you guys, that your chin is not on your chest. You gotta keep your neck in line with your spine. And the reason that's hard, you guys, is because your head weighs some pounds. So if you keep your neck back in alignment, it's gonna make you shake more. Good. Next one, pull about halfway in. Squeeze those inner thighs, tuck your tailbone. See if you can bring your fingertips behind the ears. The answer is maybe. If it doesn't serve you, don't do it. Maybe hands in prayer instead. From here, keep your legs still, your torso 1 to 3 inches back. I don't care how far it goes. Get it to shake, hold it there. And then 1 to 3 inches forward. Try not to come more forward than where you started though. 1 to 3 inches back, live in that challenge. So strong, Jessica. Keep tucking that tailbone, keep lifting the pubic bone. 4, 3, take it back to the furthest point. Hold it all the way back, legs only. Bring the back of the head back a little bit. This is your last 10 seconds. Grabbing the carriage, we'll hold plank. Your hands will be near the 8 and the 10. If you need to do it on your knees, you can. 4, 3, 2, 1. High plank on those center abs. We're just holding here. It's a difficult one. So holding our plank here at the back, right? You got to battle your biceps, your triceps. Keep a softness in the elbows. Try not to let your hands, your wrists sink underneath you. Try to stack those shoulders right over your wrists. You guys are already halfway there. While we're here, I'm just trying to get you to bring the center abs back together, your legs, your pelvis back together. Keep the back of the neck long, your head is lifting. Feel like you're energetically pushing yourself away from the floor. Big inhale, big exhale. You have about 10 seconds. If you can keep stillness, keep it. If you need a push-up or a pike, go get it. 8, we step off the back, red cables in our hands for 5th lunge. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good fight. So grabbing those red cables, standing up on your left leg, and then we'll bicep curl to bring the carriage in. I like my left heel to step out beyond that first red line, but where you place your foot is important. If you want it to be lighter, scooch it towards the springs a little bit. Right heel is lifted. Begin to bend down into your left knee. Going for depth, as always in our lunges. Trying to get your left thigh parallel to the floor. You'll see Jessica takes a nice long pause at the bottom. It's literally everything. That's where you get to make sure you're squeezing your butt. That's where you're checking. Am I working my core right now? If you are not, you got a lot of work to do. This is core, this is balance, this is stability. It's also stamina. Big inhales, big exhales. About 15 seconds of movement. You'll hear me repeat the inhale and the exhale a lot. I mean it. You want fresh, oxygenated blood pumping to these muscles. So train yourself. If it's difficult for you, train yourself to breathe deeper. Let's start to come down towards the bottom of our lunge. Hold into it. You'll see her arms kind of straighten out behind her. It opens up the collarbones. You guys, when your collarbones open, pull those front ribs back in. Just counter it. Exactly. Now this part's difficult. Without moving the carriage, you might have to bend your back knee a little bit. Come 1 inch down, left leg. Feel that booty working. Come 1 more inch down. So strong. Keep it small, keep it tight. 1 inch up. 1 more inch up. 8 seconds. 1 inch down. Yep. Sink 1 more inch down. Hold on to it. Begin to bend your back knee into your moonwalk. Yes, Jessica. Try to keep that left thigh as low as you can get it. Try to keep your back heel as high as you can get it. Squeeze your biceps. Feel your biceps working. Feel those pecs stretching, right? Chest and biceps and front of the shoulders working. 8 more seconds. See if you can stay low through the entirety of the bend of the back knee. Next one, hold it all the way in. Hold it in. Lift your chin just a little bit. Sink a little lower if you got it. You guys, we're just holding here. Squeeze your core so tight. Squeeze your biceps tighter. 7. If you can get lower, push it. Get those legs to shake. Sew yourself something fancy here. 3 seconds. We start to slide forward. 2, slide it out, slide it out, slide it out. Push into that left heel and slowly rise. 14 seconds of movement. You're coming up. You're coming back down. Low as you can get each time. We're gonna transition, same order here, into that side lunge. So the cable in your left hand is the one you keep. 6, 5, left foot transfers to the back platform in 3, 2, 1. Good job. So carefully coming up, keep the strap in your right as you turn, or in your left as you turn to your left. You'll see Jess moves her left foot a little bit forward, and then her right toes are staggered back behind the white line. It's gonna help you keep your hips balanced as you bend that left knee. Keep the cable in your left hand. Use it to assist the rise as much as you need. The difficult part about this, you guys, is your hips do not travel to the right. Your right leg stays straight. You'll see her butt is coming straight down as if she had 2 legs underneath her, like a regular squat. It's a good idea to touch your hip bones, especially at the bottom of your movement. If your right hip is lower than your left, shore up that range of motion next time. Let's start to come down towards the bottom on our next one. Remember, first one's just a hold. It's difficult. Come down as low as you can get. Now, if you have a hard time getting low, try leaning a little bit more forward here so that you can get around any tightness in the back of the lower leg. Hold it, breathe, 6 seconds. I know. Try to pull your shoulder blades away from your ears. Feel how that energizes your body and you kind of feel more powerful. 3, we're gonna try to sink lower. Great hold, Jessica. 2, sink it down, sink it down, sink it down, and slowly rise. Do your best not to lock this knee out on this first one. So slow, so slow. Once you hit the top, come right back down. 10 seconds, second and last challenge here. Breathe in and squeeze it. Good. Core is pulling in. Feel the side waist, right? Those obliques are working hard. Let's start to come all the way down. One last time. Here for a short hold. Low as you can get. Lean forward if you need to. Squeeze those inner thighs. 1 inch down. 1 more inch down. Feel that thigh just light on fire. 1 inch up. 1 inch up. Last time. 1 inch down. Woo. 1 more inch down. Sink it as low as you can get and rise. 12 seconds. Back to full range. Now we're going to pivot on the feet. 8 seconds. Coming into express lunge. This one's going to burn like the dickens. Both red cables in 3, 2, 1. Good job. So pivot on your feet. Left foot, left toes point straight ahead. Exactly. Shake it out. Cables are in your hands. Remember, the further back you step your right foot, the harder it's going to be. Bending into your left knee. Coming on down. Perfect. Squeeze your thighs. Great control, Jess. Pushing into the heel. Your goal always is to not lock that knee at the top, right? You're trying to manage your energy. You're trying to layer these reps together. It's difficult. So in the beginning, maybe you're working on layering 2 together or 3 together. And then you allow yourself that beat at the top. Pay attention to how many you can do today and then tomorrow. You should be advancing. That number should get bigger. Eventually, you should be able to do it the whole time without straightening your leg. It takes time to get there, though. Same goes with the isometric hold that's coming next. Let's start to make our way down towards the bottom. Hold it down. Breathe. So first one's just a hold. Pretty good chunk of hold. You're energetically pushing down into your heel. Your knee is right over your ankle. Squeeze those inner thighs at each other. Try it. Squeeze them tighter than you are. If you need to use your biceps, a little bend in your elbows here to maintain your depth. Oh, I really want you to. I like your shaking, Jessica. Just 7 more seconds. She's shaking real good. I'm going to say, let's get lower anyways. We might as well. Yes. 3. Slowly as you can. We're going to sink it real low first. 2. All the way, all the way. Yes, Jessica. Slowly rise. Battle, 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 battle. All the way up. Try not to lock it. Once you hit the top, come right back down. Only 15 seconds of movement here. And then we're going to finish out on that challenge. This is a big challenge, and I'll tell you, part of this challenge lives that you're finishing in an isometric hold, and I'm taking you right back into another isometric hold. It's a little bit of a situation. All the way down in 3, 2, hold it down on 1, push that heel. Tuck those lower abs in. If you can get lower, try. Bend your elbows, bend your right knee for that carriage kick. Sit into that left heel. Lean a little forward over that thigh. Come down a little bit lower. 12 itty bitty baby seconds. We're going to step backwards as we adjust our springs into our side kick. You'll be facing left of where you are now. A foot hops over that platform. 3, 2, 1. Woo. So stepping back, 1 red, 1, 2, 3 yellows. Left foot hops over the front, and you'll actually be facing to the right of the machine once you're at the front, but it was left of where you were at the back. Left foot steps all the way forward to your front platform. So your toes should be almost lined up with the front edge. That way as you bend your knees, you don't sit on the bars behind you. Make sure for me, check. Is your left knee in line with your left toes? I want your left toes, so if you look at my hand, turn your toe an inch to the left, and then make sure your knee is pointed that way as well. If you need to turn out more in order to activate gluteus medius, you can. I want you to feel those outer butt cheek pockets in this one. We're pressing from our glutes and your abductors, your outer thighs. This is an isometric hold, and that is the challenge, right? Isometric hold means your left leg is your target and it is bent the entire time. I told you in the last exercise that takes time to build up to. So if you find that you've had to shake it out already, just keep track of it. Maybe no more than twice in the whole exercise. I'm at a point, I've been doing this for many years, where I can sit in it the entire time. Jessica's there too. It's difficult. Start to push that right leg out to the right, about 80-90% of the way. Hold it. Squeeze it, right? Feel those obliques working real hard. Right leg 1 inch in, stop. Stomp your left heel into the floor, everybody. Push that left heel down. Right leg out 1 inch. Right leg in 1 inch. Push out 1 inch, hold it. Now here's the challenge. Try not to move the carriage. Left leg down 1 inch. Sit. Yes, Jessica. Up 1 inch. Woo, feels so good. Come down 1 inch, back to back. Right leg out 1 inch. Yes. In 1 inch. Don't do it, you guys. Stay with it right here. Sit lower in that left heel. Drop your booty an inch lower. Right leg 1 inch out. Hold it, hold it, hold it. 3. She's smiling. You can't see it though. 2. Come back to full range. 14 seconds. Do not stand up right now. Push yourself. Push right on through. We're going to be crawling through the bars from here. 8 more seconds. I know. This is the most important 6 seconds right here. Mega donkey in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. So crawling on through, left heel on the bar. You can adjust your springs if you need to, you guys. Hands out by the springs, left heel on the bar, right knee slightly right of 6. Everything's level and square, and then we're pushing it out. Perfect form, Jess. Now, right booty is working real hard. Right hip is right over your right knee. Consider it an isometric hold on the right leg now. So booty on the right side, inner thigh on the right side. Left leg is your mover now. So we went from an isometric hold into a pushing exercise. Pushing into the heel. Every time you bend your knee back to that 90, I want you to make sure you're squeezing your butt to do the work and not just pushing into your foot. Start to push it about 80-90% of the way out so it gets pretty straight. Hold it out there. Breathe. 1 inch in. Awesome. 1 inch out. Perfect square hips. 1 inch in. Awesome. 1 inch out. Real strong in those arms, Jess. 1 inch in. Shin is towards your throat still. Go 1 inch back out. Hold it. And slowly back to your full range of motion. Just a few seconds of movement here. Digging in, digging through. Breathe. Good. 6 seconds. We're going to push about halfway in. So your knee will be bent more. I don't want the carriage to close though. 3, 2, bring it in, about 90-degree bend. Make sure as you push into the heel, you're squeezing your butt. From here, 1 inch out. Shoulders real strong, abs real tight. 1 inch in. Awesome, Jessica. 1 inch out. Stay with it right here. Come 1 inch in. Bend it in a little bit more. Squeeze that booty. Lift that left thigh a little bit and push it all the way out. Just 15 seconds. Resist it all the way in. 10 to go. Battle station right now. We're going to pull to the back. Lat pull. 3 to 4 yellows. 2 is going to be light if you need it. In 3, 2, 1. Good job. So anywhere from 2 to 4 yellows. I'm gonna say push yourself a little bit and maybe go 1 up on the yellows that you normally do. Hands are on the vertical bars, hips are tired, that's gonna be part of the work here. Chest is lifted off your thighs, you're bending, your elbows pulling in. So good, Jessica. Make sure your wrists are long here, everybody. So if you look like your wrists are bent, just adjust where you're holding the bars a little bit. I do want you to pull all the way in. For now, as you start to slide out, I only want you to go halfway out. So your elbows are gonna stop exactly right there. So you'll see she's got about a 90-degree bend, and then she's pulling as far forward as she can. This is super hard. And as she slides back, look at this tempo. So strong, Jessica. The other thing I wanna point out to you guys right now is look at this perfection in her spine. You don't want any sagging, you don't want any over rounding. It is extremely difficult after the leg set we just had to hold your hips perfectly strong like this. 8 more seconds in this kind of half range of motion. 5, 4, pull all the way in, all the way in. Yes, so tight. Get it to shake, you guys. Squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together to open your chest, and then counter that by drawing those front ribs tightly back towards your spine. For 3, we go full range. 2 and 1. Slide it all the way out. Slide it all the way back in. Yes, beast mode. 10 seconds. And then we're going to finish in that awfully challenging half range of motion here. And then I'll get you back to the front and we'll straighten out that spine. Let's pull all the way in, tight as you can get it, tight as you can get it. Yes. And then just to that halfway point. Elbows stop 90. Woo! And then pull it right back in. 11 seconds till newspaper. You need your blacks, maybe in a spring adjustment if it's getting heavy for you, and then black cables crossed. 3, 2, 1. Grab your blacks. I would say 3 to 5 yellows for this one. Again, push it a little bit if you can. Cross your cables. Stand up really tall on your knees, and then scoot yourself back so you're in the middle of the carriage, knees near the 6. Tailbone is heavy. The hard part is most of us like to lean back in this one, so try not to. Lean slightly forward. There you are. Now, it's hard to see, Jessica, from the view you guys have. So what I want you to know is you open out, your elbows need to stay touching your rib cage. Doesn't matter to me how far out you go with the rotation, but as you come in, I need your hands to stay a little bit wider than where you started. So those metal rings never come near each other. Your wrists do not come parallel to your elbows. Keep it wider, and then once you get that range of motion, you'll realize you probably don't need to go out very far. Hug the front ribs in energetically. Keep the elbows tightly to your sides. Awesome adjustment. Real slow, real strong. Good. Now, we're going to hit a little challenge here, and I'm going to tell you we will go back to full range afterwards. In 3, start to open it up maybe 90% of the way. Now just hold and feel this burn. This is your rotator cuff. Tiny little muscles. They burn real fast. Rear deltoid, all around that cuff of your shoulder. From here, think thumbs to your shoulders, but try not to let the hands pull forward at all. Biceps, shoulders, back muscles, core muscles. Try not to lean back. Yeah. And then just bringing those arms back to parallel. Give me 2 more, just like that. Close your eyes if you got it. You're in your fight right now. Dig in. Awesome form, Jessica. Look at that core working. 1 more time. It burns, I know. You guys, if you can pull out a little bit wider on this one, try. It's hard. It should burn like no other. Yes, Jess. Arms come up. Here we go. We bring it right back down. Hold it. Pull out a little bit wider. And then honest, 10 seconds. Back to full range. If it were me, I would uncross my cables. We're going to come into sexy back from here. It's going to burn in 3, 2, 1. Cables uncrossed or crossed. It's up to you. Drop your butt back, hinge forward. Now this will feel similar to the lat pull in your body again, in the body, in your butt and in your spine. You'll see Jessica has her elbows lifted up. This is awesome. She's feeling that stretch now at the deltoid. Shoulder blades are squeezing together, rhomboids. The back of the shoulders are working to keep those elbows lifted. Lat muscles are working. Front ribs are drawing back towards the spine. Perfect adjustment. Now the mover, all those muscles are engaged in an isometric way, holding stabilization. The movement is coming from your triceps. So think back to like side kick, right? When your left leg was bent with your foot on the floor. Your shoulders are working like that. Your rhomboids are working like that. Your lats are working like that. Your triceps are like the bonus kick of your right leg. Wrists stay a little bit straighter. Breathing in, squeezing. You have 6 more seconds like this, and then I'm going to challenge you to challenge your triceps by straightening your arms about 98% of the way. 3, 2, 98% back. Hold it here. Squeeze it. Now, first thing I want you to feel all this work in your back, but pull your core in, you guys. Pull it in so tight. I want you to think chest opener with a tiny range of motion and with the lean. So 1 to 2 inches up with straight arms, and then 1 to 2 inches forward with straight arms. Yes, 1 to 2 inches up, so strong, Jessica. 1 to 2 inches forward. 5, tailbone angel, most likely cables crossed. 3, sit on your buns. 2, and 1. Good fight. Sit down on your buns. It will be heavier if the cables are crossed. Keep your toes down for now. Set your spine. So you lean back kind of like super crunch. Bring your arms out on your diagonal and then make sure they're a little bit wider than your shoulders so you feel the tension on there. Think shoulder blades. It might be easier if you close your eyes. Start to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exactly, Jessica. Keep that same shape in your arms all the way through. Beautiful tempo. Resist as you come forward. Feel the back of the shoulders. Feel the rhomboids between the shoulder blades. Feel those big lat muscles. Maybe even feel a nice little stretch through the front of the shoulders and the chest. Now, knees are squeezing together and feel like your legs are lifted. Feel your powerful core lifting your rib cage away from your hips. If you want to play around with lifting your feet and catching your balance, make sure you don't lean back more. Lift that heart up a little bit. Yes, good, that tight V. I'm going to challenge her to go a little bit slower as the arms go forward as well. Keep that heart lifting as the arms pull back. So freaking strong, Jessica. Resisting on the way forward. If she wants, she can start to try. I like the hold. So maybe pull arms back. And then while your arms are holding, can you go all the way straight? Look how straight they get, you guys. This burns like the dickens. Lift that heart up a little bit. Oh, yes. And then maybe she bends the knees before her arms move again. It's up to you. There's all kinds of variations. Only about 10 more seconds here, and then we're going to finish with the hold together. You can try it. Yes. So see, now she's extending her legs while she's pulling with her arms. That is hard to balance, my friends. You can always go one leg at a time. Here we go. Let's pull back. This is your last 8 seconds, so show yourself something fancy. If the legs can go straighter, whatever you got. We're going to come into a reverse plank. If you need it to be harder, you come to the back. 3, 1 yellow, 2, and 1. So strong. So elbows on the carriage where we started class, or if you want to make it harder, everybody, you can bring your elbows down here onto the back platform. Just a straight up plank hold. This is difficult. Plank on your elbows is like the hardest way for your abs to work. The center of gravity is lower. If you wanted to make this easier, you could A, come to your knees, or B, come to your hands. If you came to your hands, obviously your shoulders are going to fire a little bit more, but you would feel less intensity through the center core. Hard part right now is just holding it still, right? Chin is towards your throat. Squeeze your legs so intensely that they can't help but shake. You only have 15 seconds here. We have 1 push to go, 1 minute left in class after this. We're going to transition to our hands. If you wanted to make it harder, you could take it to the back. You could even take it to the floor. We're going to finish it out with plank to pike. If you can transition to your hands without dropping your knees, even better. In 2 and 1. Here we go. Push into your hands. You'll see Jessica set her plank for a second and then resisting it back out. Feel how hard this is to maintain your shoulders right now, you guys. As you start to pike up, you're pushing down into your hands, lifting the shoulders towards your hips as your hips come to the sky. Beautiful, Jessica. Let your neck hang for a second when you're upside down, and then allow your neck to come back into alignment when you're in that plank. We're more than halfway through, you guys. This is the battle now. Coming down that mountain. Feel the work. Feel it all come together. Full body effort right now. 18 seconds. No holds, no challenges from me. Slow it down if you can. Last 10. Awesome. In 5, you take that child's pose. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good fight. Knees down, let your arms kind of drape forward. You can spread your knees out a little bit wider to cradle the rib cage, get a little bit more stretch into the hips. If you wanted more of a traditional child's pose and your arms don't want to be forward anymore, you can bring your hands back by your hips with your palms up and your knees a little bit closer together. Good fight, everybody. Have a good day.